Yo, what's up with it, y'all? It's JD, and I'm back with another quick video. In today's video, I want to chop it up about, are you addicted to stress? Are you addicted to fear? Are you addicted to giving yourself a bunch of anxiety? Now, before we get into this topic, if you guys are interested in fitness, health, and overall growth content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you can get updated every time I drop new content. But let's get back into the video. So what do I mean by, are you addicted to stress? Are you addicted to fear? Are you addicted to giving yourself anxiety? So, we live in a very digital world nowadays. And when it comes down to a lot of the things that we consume digitally, or maybe when it comes down to like social media, or if it comes down to television programs that we watch, a lot of these things are kind of drama filled. They're anxiety filled. They get us all riled up. We tend to be drawn towards checking out controversial topics, or tend to, when it comes down to social media, people like to, go back and forth with each other. Or when it comes down to news, almost all of that is negative, and all of that is pretty much fear-based. But people still consume it all day long. I know people who literally watch the news, hours and hours every single day. It's like sometimes I wonder myself, like, are they just waiting for something different to come on the news? It could be the same thing when it comes down to sports media as well. Sports media is filled with drama. It's filled with, debate shows. Don't get me wrong. That's like a guilty pleasure of mine, is that, a lot of mornings, after I'm finished with my workouts, or a lot of mornings even before I go work out, I like to watch Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Just from a comedic perspective, just because, they talk about a lot of issues, and they're always going back and forth, and they're all animated and everything like that. But at the end of the day, like, it is kind of a lot of drama involved in those programs. And, as much as, I might take it as something, extremely lighthearted, it's still a level of anxiety that you're giving yourself watching Skip Bayless. The dude practically gives himself a heart attack every day on the show. And, and that's what makes it funny, but at the same time, it's still, it raises your emotions up and down just because it's so hilarious. But when it comes down to a lot of the more serious stuff, I'm more so speaking on when it comes down to like the news that's constantly pumping fear, social media that's constantly making you dislike this group of people or dislike that group of people, or want to feel like you have to be on this side of the argument or have to be on this side of the argument. Those are the type of things that I feel like is extremely bad for your physical health, and definitely bad for your mental health, because it creates so much anxiety, it creates so much stress. It's going to lead to your health deteriorating, just because you're constantly putting yourself in a state of, I don't even really know what to call it, but you're just putting yourself in a stressful state. So you got to ask yourself that question: am I addicted to stress? Am I addicted to fear? Am I addicted to giving myself anxiety? Because, one thing that I'll say, this pretty much goes for everybody, is that nowadays we're very addicted to our smartphones. And those smartphones that we have, the one I'm using right now to record this video, they create a ton of anxiety. I feel like it's like an anxiety device, because, there's so much going on. It's like you're walking around with a computer in your hand, and you're trying to process everything going on this computer with the supercomputer that you have up here. And, I don't know, trying to break down everything that's going on social media, trying to break down everything that you have in your schedule every day. We have these alarms going off. I know for myself, I have so much going on every day that I have to set alarms for myself. And for me, sometimes when these alarms are going off like 7-8 times per day, reminding me about things, it almost like, man, I forgot I had to do that. So it's like giving me a level of anxiety just even when the alarm goes off. So, the more time that we can spend away from these electronics, the more time that we can spend away from the television, the social media, watching the news, things of that nature, even when it comes down to these, funny sports shows or anything like that you might have. It might not be Skip and Shannon's show on whatever their channel is, but it might be some other type of similar program that you enjoy watching. Even when it comes down to sitcoms and TV series, there's a bunch of drama in that, and those programs are made to get us emotional. So when we get in that emotional states, our emotions go up and down, and having up and down emotions is not something that's very healthy. So what I would recommend to everybody, and this is something that I'm currently trying to work on myself, is spending more and more time in nature. You know, giving yourself at least a few hours a day in nature. You might think that that's, you know, a lot of time to just be doing a leisurely activity, but this is something that's going to be beneficial for your long-term health. It's something that's beneficial for your daily health, to be completely honest with you, because I feel like, for me, I like to come out. This my form of tapping in with nature typically involves me coming to the beach. It typically involves me, you know, coming close to the ocean. I like to hear the water. I like to, you know, sit in the sun. I like to soak up the sun, get energy through the sun. So these are the type of things that I feel like recharges our batteries and gets us back into a level state. You know, I'm a person who tries to keep myself at a pretty level baseline. I don't like my emotions to get too high, and I don't like my emotions to get too low. I feel like if we can stay around that baseline throughout the day, kind of eliminates a lot of that fear, a lot of that anxiety, and a lot of that stress. I feel like when we allow our emotions to run wild, that's when the fear, anxiety, stress all comes into play. And if we're doing things that trigger emotions like social media, television, watching the news, talking to friends that might always be, you know, gossiping or full of drama or something like that, you know, these are things that they're kind of self-inflicting wounds that we're actually, you know, giving ourselves. They're self-inflicting, you know, fear, anxiety, or stress, you know. So stay away from all that type of stuff. Eliminate the drama, eliminate the, you know, ups and downs. Try to find places and find things to do that put you in a relaxed state. All right, one more thing before I leave. I don't want this video to drag on too long. I had a conversation with my homeboy the other day, and he was telling me that, you know, he had been waiting on, he was telling me that he had a lot of family visiting, you know, there's a lot of going on at his crib, and that he didn't really have any alone time, and he didn't really have too much time to himself. But he said once he actually did get that alone time, and he actually did have that time to himself, he couldn't sit still. You know, he was looking for something to do. He was messing around with his smartphone. He was messing around with the TV. He wanted to get on a computer. He couldn't just sit still and enjoy the fact that he had that peace and quiet that he'd been waiting for so long. And I think a lot of the times, once we get into that habit of always giving ourselves stress, we get in the habit of, you know, being in these high cortisol situations. We get in the habit of always playing around on our phone to entertain ourselves. We almost don't even know how to meditate. We don't know how to relax, and we don't know how to tap in and get connected with nature. So it's something that we got to work on. You know, it's crazy to think that instead of having to work on learning about technology, we need to work on how to, you know, detach from that technology and get back connected with nature. So, you know, every day give yourself a little bit of time to get connected with nature. It could just be going to a park, taking your shoes off, and get actually connected with the ground and do some grounding. It could be going to the beach. It could be going on a hike. It could be just putting yourself in a situation where you're getting fresh air, peace and quiet, you know, and you know, getting yourself to relax a little bit. But anyways, guys, that's it for the video today. Hope everybody's having a great day out there. I'll holler at you guys later. Peace.